Or Kickoff. Fighting Chance Kickoff starts and sits, injuries, weather, and the latest news. No hot takes, no BS, just the information you need to crush your competition. It's Fighting Chance Kickoff with Kevin Tompkins and Gary Haddow.
Good morning, everybody. This is Fighting Chance Kickoff. That intro makes you want to run through a wall every damn time, and that would be
every time.
Wake up. Just saying. I am Kevin Tompkins of FightingChanceFantasy.com. As always, my partner in crime, Gary Haddow. My friend, how are you this morning?
I'm doing good. Doing fantastic. Excited to be here. It's the first day I felt healthy in 6 days, so I'm back. I'm ready to go. Let's just jump into it, and let's kick this week off with a bang.
First day healthy in about 6 days. You're feeling like Denver Broncos quarterback Drew Lock, who will play today. Look at that. They're trying to do a segue, doing our best here. But, yeah, Drew Lock should be able to play. So that quarterback carousel, with Brett Rippon, that nightmare is over. But really, the nightmare is just beginning because he's got to go up against that Patriots defense. Are you upgrading any of those Denver pass catchers today, or is this just a buzzsaw?
I think Gilmore's still out, if I remember correctly. I think that Judy gets a little bit of a bump. With Noah Fant's also out, and so yep. I think Judy and Tim Patrick could kind of be the guy that gets little. What's up, Chimo? So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Terrifying. And just that correlation there, out for the Denver Broncos. You got KJ Hamler out with a hamstring. He's been out for the last couple of weeks. Melvin Gordon will not play due to an illness that apparently is not COVID related. And then Noah Fant is out with an ankle. So yeah, that should pretty much narrow that down to Judy and Patrick in the pass game. Phillip Lindsay's a solid play today. He should get about 15 plus touches. So he's a very, very good option if you've got him stashed on your bench, or DFS is a cheap option. And then I will say Royce Freeman will likely get involved at least a little bit. Nothing to really, make a difference, but he should be at least mentioned, getting some carries here and there, maybe a couple touches out of the backfield.
I completely agree. It was someone I was just thinking about on my drive home. So,
yep, absolutely. So let's go. Also, these are guys expected to play too. Baker Mayfield had a rib injury, but Per Schefter should be playing as well. And then a couple more really light on the injury front this week, with some of the buys, and, almost thank God, because, some of these players, DJ Chark has an ankle injury. He will test it, and we'll let you know when the inactives come out in about 40 minutes. He's going to test out the ankle, so he is a true game time decision. If he does not go, that clearly opens things up for Laviska Shenault. This is probably, my favorite game of the week, Detroit and Jacksonville, as far as just an absolutely optimal game environment. So if you're looking to stack some players in DFS, you certainly can't go wrong with this game. But yeah, how do you feel about Shenault today if Chark doesn't play?
I think he should be good. They need someone to step up. I think that's where even Keelan Cole steps in as maybe a further down dart throw. I may have to be looking and scouring my waiver wire in some of my deep leagues right now to see if Keelan Cole is dropped. And I think Eifert is probably not going to be playing either. Not that he's anything, but again, you're just looking for additional targets, in particular in the red zone. And I think Shenault in particular will be schemed up to get him touches. He's been picking it up lately.
Yep, that could open that up for the Irish assassin, James O'Shaughnessy. So fire up your Guinness and maybe fire him up as a super, super deep tight end guy. Also, it could open up for Chris Conley too. We know how Minshew loves to spread the ball around, so it is hard to kind of peg one guy. But I think if you're gonna do it on any one guy that's been trending upwards, it's got to be Shenault. So pretty much him above everybody else in that pass game, especially if Chark doesn't play. Yeah. And then one more late game guy expected to play, Leonard Fournette, who was active on that Thursday night game against Chicago. was kind of their emergency option there. He will probably be limited, they're saying, if he does play. So it's probably the same situation against the Packers. Rojo should get the lion's share of that work. Depending on how they feel about Keyshawn Vaughn after he had a turnover in that Thursday night game, maybe he gets a couple snaps, but I mean, that's pretty narrow for Rojo. And I think even he against the Packers, who have given up some rush yards, and they're getting Kenny Clark back, I think he's still a solid play today.
I completely agree. I think he's going to be a very solid play, and that's it. I just think he's going to be very solid.
The Mutual Admiration Society is in full effect this morning. So Jimel's got a question here, and we'll just answer that real quick here. Fitz or Gabe Davis?
I don't know who Gabe Davis is.
I'm guessing the Buffalo.
I'm going to go with Gabriel Davis. Take the upside of that. I know that Fitzgerald could have, a role, but I think that we're seeing it's much more of a Hopkins and Kirk show. And I think that Edmonds is going to also be siphoning more and more of the targets in that offense. So Gabriel Davis, go for the upside. We know that should be a high scoring affair. And Gabriel Davis is somebody that, I'd rather take the upside of a deep bomb and touchdown to him than, a 3 for 40 line from Fitzgerald.
Yep, absolutely. I fully agree. I'm going to always go to the upside there if they're, two relatively even commodities there. Buffalo's been doing pretty good on offense, and he's been getting involved even with, the other guys in front of him. We know John Brown's been, in but banged up. We'll see what happens on Monday night, whether John Brown's going to go. I would definitely go with Davis. He is trending up, and hopefully he can get a part of that offense there. Yep. And then one more question from our own Jane Baffy. Tim Patrick or Michael Gallup in single PPR? That's tough. Just because of Gallup, but I'd probably still go Gallup.
I would go Gallup because I trust Dalton more than Drew Lock. I don't care what people say.
Yeah, I'm with you on there. It's tough to trust a secondary option on Denver, even though he's probably going to get targets. We just don't know how efficient he's going to be with them. And then my one hang up with Andy Dalton is going to be, we knew Dak could support 3 to 4 guys that passing game. Are they going to let Andy Dalton do the same? I think one of those targets is going to be moved to just. It will not be consistent. And I really do think it was already not Gallup in that offense. So, it's tough to really trust him. I think Cooper and Lamb will be fine. Obviously Zeke will be fine, but even with the quarterback change now, I think it's even harder to trust Gallup. And maybe I would say that would trickle down to Dalton Schultz as well.
I want to know what the deal is. Like, I thought Amari Cooper was banged up, and I haven't seen any news other than to say he should be able to play. And that was it. I haven't seen a single update since then. And even as I'm Googling it right now, I don't know. Like, it just doesn't say anything other than his snaps continue to decrease. So I'm going to go with Gallup and just see what happens. It seems like there's just something weird happening there. So,
yep. Absolutely. And then let's talk in a little bit more about the guys who are out today. We talked about who we're expecting to play today. We did talk about the Denver trio there. Big, the running back, Dalvin Cook for Minnesota, who came up holding his the right side of his groin there coming off the field against or on Sunday Night Football. Alex Madison is my overall running back 2 for the week. I think he just is gonna step in and absolutely dominate a really porous Falcons run defense. How are your thoughts on Madison for today?
I 100% agree, and I know one of the guys that's in our chat right now, Kevin Chubb, is going to be thrilled hearing that because he has been touting the Madison horn for a long time, and finally gets to use him in his league.
That's very apropos. He will be full Chubb today when
totally
when Alex he will be full Chubb when Alex Madison goes for a $150 and 2 touchdowns
today.
Oh man, it's because I'm not awake. It's because I was up till about 2:30, jamming in DFS lineups with Laviska Chenault. That's why. Got to do what I can. I got to grind that mortgage, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk more about some deeper guys. And Mo Alley Cox with a knee, he is out today. So that narrows that down for Trey Burton. He's a very sneaky DFS guy, and if you have to play him in season long too, that's not a bad option there. He's getting most of those snaps there. And then Deontay Johnson, he's out with a back injury. So as the kids would say, Chase Claypool season.
Yeah. And in this, if you've been nervous about your juju, I definitely fire up your juju. He should have a good game being in the slot. That's where Philly's given up a ton of their points.
Yep, absolutely. And then, I know it's really hard to trust Chase Claypool after that 4 touchdown game, but with the workload that he's about to get with Deontay Johnson, I think it's almost a no-brainer. You have to put him in. I know it's easy to chase box scores like for guys like Fulgham, for guys like Chase Claypool, but in this instance, I think Chase Claypool is an absolutely great play with one big part of that offense out today in Deontay Johnson. And then the same news as always for the Philadelphia pass catchers, Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, both out. The Eagles have committed a bit to Travis Fulgham as their ex receiver. So that's some good news on his end. I don't think he's going to be a flash in the pan. I think he's going to be involved. It's just a really tough matchup, but even with that tough matchup, I think volume is going to be at play here. So I still think Travis Fulgham is at least a solid start, and you're hoping for him to get double-digit touches and at least maybe get 5 or 6 of them and then just break one of them. If he can get a 5 for 75 line, I think he'll be very happy today.
Yeah, I completely agree. I misspoke when I said the Steelers are playing Philly. That was last week. With Philly up against the Ravens.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have to play comeback, and they only have 2 pass catching options since Zach Ertz decided to retire early or something like that. I don't know what's going on. And it's going to be Greg Ward or Travis Fulgham. So, pick your poison there, and you can do worse. I have dart throws with Ward and with Fulgham. So,
yep. Yeah, he's pretty cheap on DraftKings that I know too. So, yeah, definitely something to look forward to there to see, Travis Fulgham, if he can carry that over the next game. Like I said, it is a tough matchup against Baltimore. So we'll see how that goes. For Sam Darnold in the late game, shoulder injury, he will not be playing. So fire up your Flaccos. Yeah, I'm good on that though. You couldn't pay me enough.
Right.
Unless it's super flex, and I was trotting out Taysom Hill in one league, obviously not this week because he's on bye, but yeah, that's where I'm at. I'd rather start wide receiver than Joe Flacco. Sammy Watkins will be out with a hamstring injury, so that's going to narrow that down to Mecole Hardman getting more snaps. I do like that, at least as a wide receiver 3 play with plenty of upside. If you're doing your showdowns, that's not a bad option either. And then Dawson Knox, it's deeper. You probably aren't playing him anyway, unless you're very, very deep. And then some of the questionable tags, which we will be able to. Oh, go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
I just want to say, like Tyler Kroft, when we saw Dawson Knox out before, and unfortunately the stat line is terrible, but it was 2 for 4 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's the Jordan Howard line right there.
So, I mean, if you need a dart throw, I'm actually looking at Scott Fish right now because I have terrible tight ends. I'm like, I might as well look and see if Kroft is available, stack him with Allen, see what happens.
Yeah, Kroft Services is in full play today as the for tomorrow as a possible deep tight end option, especially if you're if you're desperate. That's not a bad option. I guess he's going to be getting a majority of the snaps there. So, and then some questionable guys, which we will clear up in about 25-30 minutes here when the inactives do come out. Julian Edelman with a knee injury is questionable, but he always is on the injury report. We haven't heard anything definitive, so he should be good to go. Beckham and Landry for the Browns should be able to play as well. Beckham with an illness, Landry with a hip and a rib injury. Darius Slayton should be able to go. He has a foot injury, so not super worried there. We talked about Shark, Curtis Samuel with a knee injury, but he's a really deep guy anyway.
Yeah.
So I think we covered everybody here as far as injuries. And I'm going to take a look at some weather. I don't really see anything other than rain in the Dolphins, and that's a low chance. Yeah,
Florida.
It's pretty free and clear for weather. So, want to get in some start sit questions here?
Let's do it.
All right, we got a couple more in the chat here. We'll hit those up again. We certainly appreciate you guys sending us those questions. Again, during the week or Saturdays, send them on our DMs or tweet at us at KTompkinsII at GaryHadow1. We will absolutely answer them either live or get back to you as far as your start sit questions. We'd love to do it and love to get them. So we appreciate all of the support here on Fighting Chance Kickoff. Our good friend Axel Jansen here has been with us every week. We certainly appreciate your support, my friend.
Yes,
Travis Fulgham, LaVisca Chenault, or Zach Pascal for wide receiver 2 in standard.
I'm going to go with Visca, then Fulham, and Pascal.
Yeah, that's a good order. Yeah, Visca easily, and then Fulgham, and Pascal. Pascal's getting, he's getting involved. I mean, say what you want about the Colts passing game, but he's getting involved. So,
yep,
it is what it is. Let me take a look here. We got one more here from Let's Go Terps. T. Higgins, Slayton, Chase Edmonds flex PPR need 2.
Oh gosh, that's tough. I'm actually starting Edmonds over Drake, and it's PPR. I'm probably gonna go. Kevin likes Higgins more than I do. I don't like Higgins that much because Indianapolis scares the shit out of me. But so I'm gonna do Slayton for sure, and then I'm flipping a coin between Edmonds and Higgins. And I am personally probably gonna go with Edmonds. You're making a lot of noise, bud.
I know. I'm sorry. My microphone stand fell off, so I'm trying to do some
old-fashioned reporting. And just hold.
All right, I think we're good. We're good.
Okay.
All right, we're good now. I do like Higgins a lot more, but I think I was. Oh man.
So Slayton and Edmonds is for me, but Higgins is very close, and we'll see what Kevin says.
I'd probably take. Damn it. Higgins and Slayton.
Yeah.
I just don't know about the workload. And, Edmonds is still he's going to get a lot of work. I mean, I don't know about a lot of work, but he's going to get a good portion of the work. I just think Higgins is, he's taken over that volume role in that offense with Boyd. It's divided up between those two. AJ Green is going to get some of his, but he's shown he can't do much with what he's gotten. So,
yeah.
And then Slayton, he's got a foot injury, but I do like him against the football team defense. So, especially if he's going to get the volume as well. He's shown he's been a volume producer the last couple of weeks. I think he keeps that going. So I'm just basically going on a workload here, taking out Edmonds. All right, and we got some more in the chat here. T. Higgins or Jerry Jeudy for wide receiver 3 in standard.
I'm going to go with Jerry Jeudy.
Man, you just if I got to convert you on T. Higgins,
it's not that I don't like T. Higgins. I'm annoyed at myself
here.
For not
I will
putting,
make you drink it.
I'm annoyed at myself for not putting the Colts in more lineups. The Colts defense, they're so good. They're just not getting the respect. I've been high on them for 2 years, and this is the first year I was like, I'm just going to fade the Colts D and not even think about them. And here we are. They are awesome. The problem is that they don't have star-studded names in their DBs, and yet as a unit, they're able to cover. So I'm just nervous it's going to be a turnover-ridden game by Cincinnati. So, I think, honestly, with the Higgins-Jeudy, I'm just saying Jeudy because of the name, but Higgins probably I would go there just because I trust the quarterback and Burrow more.
Yeah, it's Higgins for me. I'd say pretty easily over Judy. He's one of my guys. I'm putting the stamp down on for T Higgins. I think standard. I just think that he's got a much easier time against the Colts versus Judy and the Patriots, who I will say they'll probably try to scheme out Lindsey and make Locke beat them. So that's that might be a feather in Judy's cap a little bit, but I still think they locked that offense down today. We know how the Patriots can remove something out of that offense, and I think it's gonna be a total effort today. So we got some more here. Full point PPR: Chark, A-Rob, Claypool, Visca, Gallup need 3.
I'm not starting Chark regardless. So it's going to be A-Rob, Claypool, and Visca. And you missed a question, just so you know.
Did I skip one? I'm sorry.
But it was okay. We'll continue with this, then we'll get back.
I just saw it. All right, I'll get to that right now, or in a second here. A-Rob, Claypool, Visca. I would go those 3. That's. Man, it's tough because I love Chark and I want to play Chark wherever I can, but I'm gonna backpedal off of him this week. I'll go A-Rob, Claypool, Visca. We've seen Visca trend up, and I think we should keep going with him. I like him over Chark, at least in that offense today, even if Chark does play. And I'll go back up to that one that we did miss here: David Johnson or Kenyon Drake.
Chark or Brian Drake.
Could be Brian Drake. I don't know.
It could be. But just so we're all on the same page, DJ Chark is still a game time decision. Even though it came out saying questionable, likely to play, they still want to test it. Like, I don't want to play a player that's going to be testing it and hey, put him out there and let him be a decoy. Just don't throw anything to him. David Johnson to Drake. I'm going David Johnson. I like the Titans defense, but I just don't know what the hell is going on with Drake. Like I said, I'm putting Edmonds in over Drake in my half-point PPR league. So I don't know. I'm starting Drake where I have to, but I'm going to pivot when I can.
Yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, it's tough because how high were we on? I mean, on Drake in the beginning of the season. So look how far he's fallen. I mean, I'd probably go David Johnson. I don't like it either. It's tough, man. It's these dangerous streets we're living in where this is what we have to decide with Kenny Drake. What a world. Julio Jones or Jamison Crowder for wide receiver 3 in PPR.
One hell of a decision to make. I'm going with Julio. I mean, he's not even on the injury report now, I think, right?
He is not on the injury report. God, you can't jam both in there because Crowder's second in PPR points per game.
I know, it's insane.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if I'm going to go anybody, I go Julio, but man, I want to play both if you can. I'm sure you probably have better, but I mean, if it's for wide receiver 3, you must have Thielen and somebody else. You must have just awesome receivers. Oh, he has Adams and Hopkins. Well, there you go, man.
Yeah. I would say Crowder. I have more faith that I have more faith in the 300-yard Julio game than a 100-yard Crowder game. Crowder has just had some weird plays, like that 52-yard pickup last week was just kind of out of nowhere, and it's Joe Flacco. So,
yeah, that's true. All right. Only have 3 active running backs, full PPR. Drake, Edmonds, AP have both cards in for now.
I'm going with Edmonds and AP, actually, because I think Drake and AP are very in similar spots. And I would rather have the guy who's going to have much more of the backfield to himself, plus one of the cards. Again, now that I'm pivoting from Drake, this is going to be the week he goes off, and it's going to fucking suck. But for the time being, I'm going Edmonds, AP.
And also with AP, he's questionable too. So that's something you have to weigh in with that too. And we will get word on that very soon, about 15 minutes. So whether it's DeAndre Swift season or not, we will see. But against that defense, I can think of worse plays than Adrian Peterson, but I really think this is going to be a week where DeAndre Swift gets much more involved in the offense post bye. So, I think he's a very popular name as far as guys that are just going to break out, at least today. I'm going to go with. I'll go with Drake and Edmonds here. I'll be a little bit contrarian here and play both backs because I think both together can at least get you about 18 to 20 points. And that's, with a chance of a touchdown if they both just, get you more bonus.
AP practiced in full on Friday, and the Jacksonville rush defense is ranked 26th right now. So I am happy to start one back against the Dallas front, who is just playing terribly, but they are a very good group of individual players versus AP going up against a shitty ass Jacksonville D-line. So take that what you want. I've sworn enough.
That's fair. That's fair. Absolutely fair. Let's see here. Philip Lindsay or Antonio Gibson for RB3 in standard.
I love Gibson this week.
In standard, though?
He's going to get touches. That's all I know. And Lindsay will get some touches, but we still don't know what the breakdown is. We haven't seen him play in 3 or 4 weeks, and it's the Patriots.
True. Yeah. I'd take Gibson over Lindsay there, especially in standard. I think both will be involved in the pass game, and I think Gibson has the as far as full, the high leverage touches, getting in the red zone and inside the 5. I think he's, pretty much a lock for those as well. We've seen it in the past couple of weeks. Not only that, and then Philip Lindsay will probably get shut out of those a little bit with Royce Freeman. So, I think he's got a better shot at a touchdown. Gibson, I think he's going to be able to break more, if he does get free on that Giants defense. So, yeah, I would go Gibson there. Here we go. Need 2 at PPR. Godwin, Boyd, Beasley, Patrick.
Godwin, Boyd.
I'd say that's a fairly easy decision, at least for us here.
And I really like Beasley, but Godwin, Boyd, they're too good.
Yeah, they're playing. You got to lock him in, especially Godwin. I mean, hopefully it seems like it's been a rotating. One Buccaneers wide receivers out, so at least in this matchup, while you got Godwin being able to play, then you got to throw him in. Here's one. Full point PPR, need 3. Boyd, McLaurin, Claypool, Godwin, Visca, or Slayton. Nobody said this was going to be easy, Gary.
This is that's why it's here's one. Okay.
That is definitely one.
Godwin and Boyd are for sure in for me. I want to say McLaurin. I am terrified of that matchup. James Bradbury is so damn good.
Bradbury's been great. Yeah.
Just shutting down everybody. So I am going to pivot away from him. I'm going to stay in the Flames and go with Claypool.
Boyd, Claypool, Godwin. Boom.
Yeah.
And that sucks. We've been talking about Visca for the last
those are all awesome options.
28 minutes and 23 seconds, it seems like. Not that that's how long we've been live or anything, but
package something and try and upgrade somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you can get some good talent there. I have Devon. Oh, okay. That was from before. That's why we need a producer. Full point PPR, need 1. Ingram, Fournette, or Moss. If you want to be our producer, we don't pay anything. It won't count toward college credit, but you'll have fun. So isn't that the name of the game?
Yep. Ingram, Fournette, and have you gone past? Not yet. We'll do that in one. We'll do that right after these 2 questions. Ingram, Fournette. I'm going to go with Ingram. You have no idea what the hell the other 2 are going to do.
Yeah, Fournette's probably emergency guy. Zach Moss is just coming back. He's probably going to be a little bit involved, but if I have to play one, it's going to be Ingram. And basically just hope he falls in and gets into the end zone. Yeah. That's pretty much what you're hoping for with Ingram. Just that 3-headed backfield has really sapped any value out of that Baltimore running game. Mm-hmm. Logan Thomas or Chris Herndon for tight end 2. Chris Herndon for me.
Interesting.
I'm fully off of Logan Ballage.
But like, is Herndon even getting targets? Like he's been in blocking. At least Logan's getting targets. I admittedly have not looked at the target breakdown for Herndon versus Thomas, but I know that Thomas is still getting some targets.
Let me take a look. I'm going to do that right now for you. Game logs for Chris Herndon. He's got his targets have gone down. He had 3 targets last week for 24 yards, 2 catches, 24 yards
against
for Herndon against
a
Arizona.
Team that's supposed to be crappy against tight ends.
Yes, admittedly.
I'm going Thomas. I trust Kyle Allen to try dump offs to him more so than Joe Flacco just hyper targeting Crowder.
I mean, Thomas has only had 8 targets the last 2 weeks. He only has 1 catch. I mean, he's getting the targets, but just that efficiency is just woeful, no matter who's at quarterback. 1 catch for 4 yards last week against
Axel, flip a coin. Just flip a coin. Don't even catch it in your hand and flip it. Like, flip it and just let it land. Like, you don't even want to be a part of it. You just want to tell me what to do, fate, and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. So you had those questions for Lewis?
Yeah. Okay, so Randall Cobb, Humphreys, or Preston Williams PPR. Need one.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm not awake enough to answer that question.
Oh, we got some worse ones coming. Trust me. Not just Lewis's. There's some doozies.
I'm sorry. Okay, that was Cobb, Preston Williams, and
Humphreys.
Preston Williams upside.
So I'm going with Preston Williams too, and I want this to lead a conversation. I still do have another question from Lewis, but AJ Brown is going up against Bradley Roby. Bradley Roby is solid, damn good, and I have put AJ Brown. I'm starting to be like, oh, that's why he's 5,600.
No, like, he's 5,600 because he's been out for the last 6 weeks.
I don't know. I think he's 5,600.
I mean,
they're trapping people into taking him. Bradley Roby is really good.
I don't know about really. He's pretty good. He's not in like a top, category as far as shutdown guys. Yeah, he shadows, but I'm gonna go with that talent at AJ Brown and how that offense has been running in Tennessee versus Bradley Roby. I mean,
here's the logic though. If I'm then Tannehill, am I going to throw away from Roby towards Humphreys, who is not going to be back? Or is this offense just changed and Humphreys doesn't really have a role in it anymore because it's Jonnu and AJ Brown and Derrick Henry? That was my logic potentially. I've had a lot of Humphreys questions. I can see the logic. I don't know if they were thinking that far or not, but that was where I was kind of getting to. So we both agree on Preston though for that question.
And I will say regarding AJ Brown, he's been good against some of the, not middle tier, but decent options. He held Chark to 3 for 16. He held Marquise Brown for 5 for 42, but he did give up 8 for 114 to Adam Thielen with a touchdown. He gave up 5 for 46 with a touchdown to Tyreek Hill. So the elite options, he hasn't fared well. And
AJ Brown's a super human being. So
so I would
he's just super.
He's super. Thanks for asking. My God, I need
sleep. All right, one more. Well, I got multiple. So
Fitzmagic, Josh Allen, Jared Goff in 2 quarterback.
Lewis, we'll come back to yours in a sec. Pick 2. It's going to be Allen and I'm going to say Allen and Fitzmagic. I like Fitzmagic and Goff enough. So,
oh man, I just don't know about.
I actually think it's probably Allen and Goff just to be safer.
That's where I'm going.
So the Niners are getting Emmanuel Mosley back, which is going to make it so they don't just have a complete sieve in their DBs. Brian Allen is gone, but I don't know. I can see it going both ways. I think all 3 are very good options. Kevin and I differ on Fitzpatrick and whether or not he is going to have to do anything in the second half. And so I think Fitzmagic, despite the fact that Kevin actually has him ranked, and I think it's top 8 right now, top 10, and he has Goff far below. Somehow he is waffling here. Or am I thinking of Minshew? Maybe I'm thinking of Minshew.
I was gonna say I have Fitzpatrick is quarterback 18 right now.
I was thinking of Minshew then.
Yeah, I would take Allen and Goff.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think it's more going to be more of a salt away Myles Gaskin game more than. I mean, Fitzpatrick will probably have like 200, couple touchdowns, interception probably. I think that's a problem. That's my kind of projected line for him. But it's Fitzpatrick, and he could just make us all look like idiots. I mean, he did go to Harvard, so so he's got that over us.
I got a couple here. Hold on, I got a couple.
Okay.
Chris Thompson, Kerryon Johnson, or D'Ernest Johnson PPR. And yes, they understand that's yucky. So CT, Kerryon, or D'Ernest.
I need a palate cleanser. That's what I need. God. If AP doesn't go, Kerryon.
AP will go. He's a full participant on Friday.
Jeez. D'Ernest, and what was the first one?
Chris Thompson. D'Ernest is guaranteed touches. Chris Thompson is going to have the most valuable touches. And Kerryon, I actually have no interest in him. He might randomly get a touchdown, but
yeah, I'd say go with D'Ernest.
Yeah, he actually said he was keeping him out because of the matchup, but I don't know. Like I said, Chris Thompson if he's out on D'Ernest, but yeah, it's a tough one.
It is. That's something. Andrew Scruggs here. Robert Woods or Marquise Brown PPR.
Robert Woods. I mean, I'm always gonna probably go with Woods, especially against the Niners defense, who is giving up some of the most yardage to wide receivers.
I need what I need here. I need a Robert Woods, just a video to play every time it gets mentioned.
Just like a stamp.
Just like a just scrolling across, just a bunch of
always Woods, always Woods,
always Woods. Except in a lot of instances.
I got another yucky one for you.
It's
a multi-part. Okay, so
boy, all right.
Marvin or MVS?
Marvin.
Pirine or Swift?
Swift.
And then MVS or Pirine?
MVS. We just don't know if with Gore. Obviously we've seen Gore. Get that work. I just don't. I think they want to put Pirine and give him more run. We just don't know if it's going to be this week.
Fair enough.
I think he's more of a toward the end of the season. I mean, I don't think they're going to just go and trot out Michael Pirine, this early, but who knows? I just don't think. I think that Gord's not going to be running the ball for the Infinity Jets in week 15, 16.
Yeah.
So, I mean, unless they really just want to tank for Trevor, and I don't think they're going to get the number 1 overall pick. I think something's going to happen where they just luck into a win somehow. I think I said it on Twitter that they will be the team that has the team have to forfeit because of COVID. That's how they're going to get their win. And then like the Falcons are going to get the number 1 overall pick or something stupid like that. That would be the most Jets thing to ever happen. And we've seen a lot of Jets things happen. That might be the icing on top of that cake. We got a defense question here, my friend.
Yeah.
Broncos, Bengals, Cardinals.
I don't like answering this, and my answer is Bengals, because P. Rivers is going to throw a couple interceptions.
Yeah, I think that, and he's a statue. I think they're going to get some pressure on him a little bit, even with that offensive line. That kind of negates a little bit of that if Phillip Rivers can't move. So I Bengals is the play out of there. Out of Broncos, Bengals, and Cardinals. I got a bunch of questions here. If you want me to just fire them off. These are a little less gross, I will say that. And there's a distinct theme in a lot of these questions, and I think you will pick up on this very, very easily. Pick 3. So take one out of these 4 guys: Godwin, Kupp, Parker, Claypool.
Godwin, Kupp, Parker, Claypool. I have to sit one?
Sit one. Pick 3.
Godwin, Parker, Kupp, Claypool. Probably Claypool.
I'm going to sit Parker.
How would you sit Parker? He's going to have like 115 and a touchdown or two.
I don't know about that.
He just...
I'd rather play Cooper Kupp. If I'm Godwin's active, I'm playing him. I think it's going to be mostly a neutral game.
It's Claypool or Parker. And
I'd rather have Claypool.
Yeah. We're going to differ on this. I would rather play Parker. Parker is like the integrated. He is the number one on the offense.
That's the thing, though. You have 4 awesome options, and you have to sit one. And it's going to be between Parker and Claypool, I think, in most instances for people.
Let's go with this. Claypool is probably the ceiling just because we saw some obscene ceiling. But Parker's floor is so much higher than Claypool's. How many times do we see players go off and then the next week they're 2 for 13? Parker's not going to be 2 for 13. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, he's going to be 2 for 16. No,
go home. You're drunk.
I already am home. Damn it! And that was last night. It's not tonight or today or this morning. But all right, fine. Take one out of these 3. Chase Claypool. You're starting to see the theme. Laviska Shenault, Michael Gallup. I'm taking Claypool and Shenault here.
I am too.
I think that's pretty safe. All right, here's a pick 2 here. So take one out. Terry McLaurin, Raheem Mostert, CeeDee Lamb.
I'm taking out McLaurin.
Yeah. And it pains me. It really does. But James Bradbury. I mean, this is the unofficial James Bradbury podcast, which I just thought of, just as a complete out of the blue. Speaking of, I haven't found a way to insert Johnny Munt into anything the last couple of weeks.
It's okay. I have an update on AP.
Do you go?
AP had blood work and an MRI after side pain caused him to miss practice Thursday. There was concern it was his appendix, but tests were negative and he's expected to get his normal workload. The one thing I will say from this is if he has side pain, you guarantee he is going to get hit in the side, and that could cause some additional pain. I'm not saying it will. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. But it gives me – I'm comfortable playing AP. It makes me more comfortable playing Swift.
Yeah, I think that's pretty – yeah, that's tough. We are not doctors, nor do we play one on TV or the internet. Yeah, that's why we bring in much people that are smarter than us to talk about all the doctory stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty sound logic as far as, if you're going to get hit in the side, it's, you're a running back. It's going to happen. So
I technically am a doctor, just not a medical doctor.
You are a doctor.
I get told, I reminded all the time that I should say this, and I feel like it's stupid to say. Continue. We're moving on.
All right, Dr. Haddow. Tyler Boyd or Chase Claypool?
Tyler Boyd, Curtis Samuel is inactive. Those are not related.
I was going to say, I'm like, wait a minute. Did we miss some breaking trade news with Curtis Samuel? Because I would have been on top.
Darius Leonard is out.
Yeah, he was trending out anyway. That's tough for them. Absolutely. Probably top 3 linebacker.
Good for Joe Mixon.
It was solid for Joe Mixon. I mean,
good for Tyler Boyd.
Good, great for Tyler Boyd. Yeah. Travis Fulgham or Devontae Freeman? Freeman against Washington. Fulgham against.
Is Chase Young active yet?
Chase Young. I will tell you right now. And actives are going to be starting to pour in.
Yeah, that's what I'm like scouring right now. Again, if you guys aren't using the Fantasy Life app, not a sponsor, but I think that they're fantastic.
They are fantastic. Gary on top of things with the inactives. Beep, 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 beep.
Breaking news. I think I'm going to go with Fulgham. I think he has a higher upside. I think Devonta Freeman, if he falls into the end zone, he'll be happy. You'll be happy, and that's it. And it'll literally be falling because I don't know if he can run in anymore.
Right. Aaron Rodgers or Kyler Murray?
Oh, God, that's a tough one.
Rodgers, 100%.
It's not 100%. Those are so close to each other. I'm going Rodgers, but Kyler, like against a shitty defense, dude's gonna run all over. Literally run and pass all over. But I am going Rodgers. He has Adams back in a game where Rodgers and Brady don't get to play a lot, and it's a tough defense. That's my concern, is that this is going to be a lower scoring affair because of the defenses, but Rodgers is going to want to go lights out.
Yeah. Well,
I'm pivoting to Murray. I'm going with Murray. I'm too nervous about the defenses.
Oh, my Lanta. Here's a super flex question I thought was pretty curious here. Kyle Allen or Travis Fulgham? So it's basically you're weighing that low end quarterback against a solidly workloaded wide receiver.
You got to go with Kyle Allen just because of how low of a wide receiver that potentially is.
Yeah, I mean, it is the Giants, but also you've got Kyle Allen who could be pulled at any any moment's notice. That's something true. I'm factoring in too. I think I would go Fulgham just because that whole quarterback situation is so unsettled in Washington. I mean, he could easily put up 15 points, or he could put up 0.3, and Alex Smith could be getting 25 attempts. That's true. That's the tough thing with that. So I would go with Fulgham there. Devontae Freeman or DJ Moore?
DJ Moore. I don't know. I mean, you can sit DJ Moore. He's not a must start, but he's not somebody I want to actively try to not start.
Yeah, that's very true. I think, you're not avoiding him by any means. We got a kicker question. I think that's a first here. Stephen Gostkowski, Matt Prater, Chris Boswell. I'm going to go Prater just because of it's going to be a pinball game as far as points. Is that in Jacksonville? I can never remember though. I got to pull that up.
I was going to say, is that
is in okay?
Is that in?
So
Houston?
It's outdoors. It's outdoors.
And then I would go with Gostkowski
outdoors. Yeah, Boswell's outdoors. And that is at Houston.
Yeah,
or
it's at Houston.
No, it's not. It's at Tennessee.
Oh yes, because AJ Brown is on the.
So
Titans,
they're all out.
And
they're all outdoors. Yeah.
In that case, I will go with the two shittier teams, and I will go with Prater.
Yeah, shitty teams equals good kicker games.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much been the only MO. Are they kicking indoors, or is it shitty defenses and good offenses? So yeah, that's going to be. He should be able to do just fine. Get you about 7-8 points.
I have a question.
Yo,
Ertz or Hooper?
Ertz, volume.
Just one volume. But continue. Yeah. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I would say just because of he's got to capitalize on that volume at some point. I mean, him and Fulgham are going to get it. Ward will get a little bit of that too. Miles Sanders out of the backfield, but man, at some point you just got to bank on the volume.
Yeah.
Julio Jones or Justin Jefferson?
Man, somebody's dropped Deontay in one of my leagues. Julio Jones or Justin Jefferson? Julio, like, these ones are so tough, dude. Like, you feel so dumb if Julio goes off. But Jefferson right now sounds like the right play. I can't sit Julio. If he was even a questionable, I would sit Julio, but I don't even think he's questionable anymore.
Yeah, I think you gotta play Julio. It's one thing if he's questionable, but if he doesn't have an injury tag, you gotta figure that he should be. He's not going to be a decoy. So I think you got to go Julio, and that's going to transform that offense too. Because look what he's had his last couple really terrible games. Matt Ryan has without Julio. So I mean, I think that's going to transform that defense or that offense as a whole. against the Viking defense. It's just not good, really. So,
yeah.
Although they did play a lot better against Seattle, I will say that. Defense question: Rams defense or the Steelers?
Steelers.
Yeah.
Rams.
It's tough. Rams have been playing. I mean, San Francisco's getting all their healthy guys back, so and Garoppolo should be there. I think they'll be fine. I just don't know if. I mean, it's hard to bet against Aaron Donald. It really is.
You need to.
And I guess 10 other guys play on defense too.
Yeah, what's your scoring in the league? If depends on how sacks and different stuff are weighted, but there's going to be, I don't know. You got to go with the Rams. They're going to do better against the Niners offensive line, but the Steelers, just so everyone's aware, the Steelers defensive line is number one in almost every metric right now in the NFL. That doesn't mean fantasy scoring, but actual real life stuff. So Brady or Tannehill.
Brady or Tannehill.
You know my answer. I'm all about Tannehill this week.
Yeah, I'd go with Tannehill too. We can't ignore it. I mean, look what he's done since he's been the starter in Tennessee. It's
better passer rating than Mahomes.
And this is a guy who's absolutely just trashed the Titans for the better part of since February, pretty much. I'm off of that. I have realized the error of my ways. It took me. We're in October. It took me 8 months, but I'm with you guys. I'm with you on the Titans and their efficiency.
Yeah, just
like it took me that long to be on Derrick Henry. Which should I pick up for a buy fill-in? Burton, Eifert, or Fells? I'm going to take Eifert out of that. So it'd be between Burton or Fells. And Fells, I don't mind today, because we know Akins isn't going to play. I just give me Burton, but both are. It's almost a coin flip for me between him and Fells.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's where I'm at there. I would, give me Burton. I'll say him over Fells slightly. I'll rapid fire some questions here if you're up for it there.
Let's do it,
my friend. All right. Let's see. Dolphins D or Titans D?
Dolphins D, but I've been thinking about that same question all week.
There you go. That's why we asked the tough questions that not everybody's, people have got the same questions. That's what's great about it. So, Tannehill or Minshew?
Tannehill. I love Tannehill. Like Tannehill to me is like a top 7 QB this week.
Yeah, I agree. Gurley or Gaskin?
Whew. Gurley? Those are really close. Flip a coin, but probably Gurley. Gurley's been playing really well lately. Gaskin has been playing okay due to volume, but I think Gurley has been actually playing very well. I picked up Brian Hill just because the running game in Atlanta was starting to go so well that I thought if Gurley goes down, I want to have that back just because they've started to look much better.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Darrell Henderson or J.D. McKissick?
Henderson. Stay in the Flames.
Henderson, but I'm uneasy about it because J.D. McKissick does at least have a floor with those terrible quarterbacks.
But it's 7 points. Like that's all that ever is. Maybe I
want those 7 points.
I'm pretty sure that's in PPR score too.
Yeah, Woo. I get it. Ooh, Axel, my friend. Super deep question. Kyle Juszczyk, Ito Smith, or McNichols? I think I go with McNichols because we saw him getting work on third downs, against the Bills with Derrick Henry, and no Darrington Evans. I think I go McNichols here.
I will agree, but I really want you to start Juice. I think.
I wonder why.
But it's just like against the division rival, like they need sparks to their offense.
It's like Gary has skin in the game or something.
Dude, Juice is awesome when he catches his 42-yard bomb down the sideline. But yeah, go with McNichols. Former Niners, Jeremy McNichols.
If I took this off and you had no access to Google, could you spell use check?
I just looked at it and I'm no longer looking, and I think it's JUSZCZYK. But I did just look at it and I almost forgot. Every single time. Belichick also. I always have to Google Belichick no matter what.
We are gonna have a spelling bee after the season. No, I'm not even kidding. We're gonna have a damn spelling bee. We're gonna have to spell like Lavernius Coles and TJ Hushmanzada and stuff like that.
We'll do it week 18 when there's going to be like 3 random NFL games that are all been postponed to week 18.
Yeah.
To be honest, there's probably going to be like 12 of them, but
probably. So keep on. Yeah. On Fighting Chance Live, we will have the first annual spelling bee. You're goddamn right. Jonnu Smith or Robert Tonyan?
Jonnu. But Jonnu. I like both, but totally Jonnu.
Yeah, Jonnu. I think that's easy. Yeah.
I do also Google
Garoppolo.
I still do also Google that. Sometimes.
Yeah, I've got a handle on, and I'm a pretty good speller. But yeah, there's some that still like I'd have to look at them to see which ones kind of screw me up. But yeah, that Lavernius Coles has always screwed me up, and I had to like use a mnemonic device to be able to learn how to spell that correctly.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Marquise Brown or Juju?
Juju, because I expect Slay to be on Brown.
That's fair. Yeah. Well, that's the one thing. Is he he had a concussion? Is he playing?
Slay?
Yeah.
That's so. I will look. Let me get the updates. They haven't released theirs yet. They have. No, he's playing. He's playing.
Okay.
Lane Johnson's not playing.
I just saw that.
Jesus. Yep. They're about to get murdered. Carson Wentz is going to be throwing for his life.
Chark is in as well, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. Right. Why did I confirm that? It hasn't been confirmed yet, unless you just saw it.
No, I haven't looked at anything.
I do have a question, though, while we're still looking.
He will be active, by the way. DJ Chark is active for the Jaguars. So that's something to consider as well with Laviska Shenault, but I still do like him over Chark today. Go ahead.
Dobbins, Hill, or D'Ernest Johnson for a very crappy RB2 situation.
Is that Brian Hill?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't want to be like, throw Justice Hill in there. All right. So Brian Hill, Dobbins,
and D'Ernest.
I think isn't Dobbins out snapping both of those two, Ingram and Gus Edwards?
They're like out snapping, but not out touching.
Yeah.
So I have Dobbins in. I mean, the person has Dobbins in right now.
You can just say it if it's you. It's okay. I'm not going to judge you.
Asking for a friend. No, yeah, it's for me.
Okay, now I'm judging. No, I'm just kidding. I'd go Dobbins.
Okay.
I don't feel great, but I mean, you have those options, so you can't feel great anyway.
Any other ones for you? I always ask about my own questions.
Jamal Williams or Mark Ingram?
Dude, that's so
going Jamal. Because I talked about this with Bo and Scott Simpson. Yeah. When the Packers are in a neutral game script, which I think they're going to be in today, Jamal Williams tends to at least be just not a monster, but he has a very safe floor. It's when Green Bay is ahead or behind that Jamal Williams really does not factor in that much. Close games, Jamal Williams is absolutely there, absolutely involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's going to be in the 60s this game between those two teams. I think it's going to be it's going to be a nationally, televised game. It's going to be a great game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Combined, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was like 60 to 60. Jesus.
Oh, yeah. I'd take that over all day.
One last question, then we'll jump to Axel's, and that's in a PPR, would you do Fuller or Lamb? It's actually Chark, Fuller, Lamb, or Moore, but I really don't care about Moore or Chark in this situation. So Fuller or Lamb?
I'm gonna go out with a bang here. They're close between Fuller and Lamb, but
you have them very close in your ranking.
I take Fuller.
Yeah.
I think he's got a good chance. And I got one more before we get to your last one, or before. Let's get to these two. Yeah. Axel, Arthega Whiteside, Jakeem Grant, or Braxton Berrios. Jakeem Grant, he's much more involved than the other two.
Hopefully,
and plus, if you get
return yardage,
I was just gonna say, if you get return yardage, he's gotta be
special teams touchdown, and hope he returns one.
But he tends to get like just the most random work, but he's involved. That's the thing. He's more of a gadgety type guy, but he could easily with his speed just break a 65-yard rushing touchdown. So I think Grant's a clear play over those two.
And then for Kevin, for Rodgers or Stafford, I think we're both saying Rodgers, but
flip a coin. But
I'm just going Rodgers because I trust Adams and Aaron Jones more than I do Kenny Galladay and Matt Patricia.
Rodgers.
Yeah, Rodgers.
But they're close. So I've got one more, and this is here. Brian, our good friend Brian Drake, or Mike
Drake for Drake.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is it Chanel versus Tim?
Himself? I'm going to go with Chark active.
Chark? Yeah, Chark. Yeah. I was saying, I'm like, wait a minute.
I know. Sorry.
Chanel.
Oh, God. I'm going hesitantly with Chanel. I think they both have like 10-point ceilings. Maybe. Sorry. I think they have
10-point floors. You're right.
Yeah. 10-point floors, and I don't know if Drake has a much higher ceiling, but Chenault could go off. But
he's gonna go off here. So
hopefully. Hi, buddy. You want to come say hi? All right. It is time for me to go play with stickers with my son.
I have no stickers to play with, but I will live vicariously through.
We'll send you some
sticker. Yeah,
sticks for anybody that wants really cool stickers. My wife subscribes to them.
That is awesome. Absolutely. So again, thank you guys for all the support here with Fighting Chance Kickoff here and Fighting Chance Live as well. We'll see you back on Wednesday. Again, if you have questions, send them on over to @KTompkinsII or @GaryHadow1 and or send them to you too.
Or to Ewan also. His Twitter handle is a little private right now, but
yeah. So just filter them through Gary. But yeah, if you have any questions, send them on over to us. We'll answer them before kickoff. Good luck, everybody. Good luck in week 6 and kill it out there.
Yes, sir. Well, we'll be chatting soon, I'm sure, Kev.
Absolutely. Good luck, everybody. Have a great day.